Hey guys, I hope you are doing well. And today on day 21, we are going to talk about cloud migration approaches. So, in general, we will talk about when we are going to migrate our on-prem infrastructure, data, or application to the cloud. Here, the cloud can be anything like Azure, AWS, or GCP, or any other cloud platform. But the migration approaches will be same when you are talking about the cloud migration. So, in general, we are having seven migration approaches. Out of them, five are core approaches, and two are something like that we need to take care whenever we do any transformation or any migration. So, let's talk about the first approach, that is rehosting. That means it's a very simple lift and shift kind of migration approach where we move existing workload to the cloud with minimal changes in our environment. So no need to make much changes, and we need to make sure whatever application we are running in our organization, we are using the same platform in cloud as well. So in that case, we will not take much pain, and there are very less drawback as well because we are not changing anything, but we will not able to utilize the cloud performance very much in this because we are not making any changes. But it's good when we don't want any changes in our existing application. So it's a fast, easy, and require minimal effort. If we talk about next approach, that is replatforming. As the name mentioned itself, here we need to make the changes in terms of platform. For example, if you are using Linux platform, so the application, whatever, for example, your application is running on version 1, in that case, when we will migrate to cloud, it will be of second version of Linux. So here we are making changes in the platform where we are hosting our application. It might be case for the Windows server as well. So whatever server you are using, you need to make changes in that one, but we are not making any changes in the application. If required, we will change little bit in the code, but will not touch much on in this case. Okay. Next approach we are having refactoring. What exactly the refactoring is? Refactoring is something where we need to optimize our existing code. Okay. So in this case, what we need to do? We need to optimize code for cloud compatibility. But the thing is, no change in the functionality. So we can make minimal changes here, but we will not make any changes in the terms of our application functionality here. That approach is known as a refactoring. Next approach we are having re-architecting. That means here we will, it is mentioned, right? We need to re-architect. That means we need to completely restructure the application to take full advantage of cloud environment. So we need to redesign the application. So let me mention for you, we need to redesign the application architecture. Also, we need to utilize cloud native services and infrastructure to get the full advantage of cloud because we are migrating to the cloud. There, that means that we want to take advantage of the cloud platform. So there are many benefits like we can maximize the benefits of cloud environment, we can improve the performance and scalability, and also we can enhance features and functionality of our application. Now we will talk about next approach, that is repurchasing. It's a very simple and replaceable service or application we can say. For example, if you are using your traditional environment where you are using Exchange server for messaging and collaboration or SharePoint you are using, right now we are having option of Office 365, right? Similarly, we are having multiple application which we were used to configure for our existing environment. But in this case, what we are going to do? We are going to replace it with the SaaS application. That means software as a service application where we just need to purchase the license and directly we can use it, and we can remove our whole infrastructure related to this particular service, so we can save lots of money. And here the best cases is If you have 100 users, then you need to just purchase 100 licenses. If you want to remove it, you can remove that license. If you want to increase, you can increase it. But in our traditional environment, what happens? We need to set up whole service. Either you are having 100 users or 1000 users, right? You are, and also you always keep the scope for the future growth as well. So these are the five core services, or we can say the five core approaches for migration, cloud migration. Now I'm going to talk about two more. That is on number six, it's a retire. See, whenever we migrate something to the cloud or any transformation happen, at that time we do the validation, right? We evaluate our existing infrastructure. So at that point of time, we got to know this particular application is needed or not needed, this particular server is needed or not. If during the evaluation we got to know this server is not needed in for future, we can go for the decommission. In that case, what happens? It will save money for us. That is what organization wants, right? Next approach we are having, retaining. See, we want to take full advantage of the cloud, but sometimes what happens, we are running some legacy application which is tightly coupled with third party application which normally don't support in cloud environment. So in that case, what happens? We need to keep that service on prem only. So we need to identify those services which are not supported in the cloud. At the time we will follow this approach. We will retain those services. There might be possible that there is some data that you don't want to keep in the cloud, you want to retain that data, then you can do it during this approach. So these are the seven core migration approaches, sorry, seven primary migration approaches that can help you for the successful cloud migration. So I hope you find this video helpful. If you find it, don't forget to click on like button, share with your friends so they can also learn and grow together. See you in next video. Till then, keep learning, keep signing. Hello friends, welcome you all in T3P. On today, day 22, we are going to simplify AI in technical terms. So imagine you have a robot that can learn and solve problems for you just like a human being. So it's kind of a AI nowadays. So it's about creating machine. Okay, we can create machine that can think and act like human but without the need for emotions or feelings. So this is how we can tell this system is AI system. So think of this AI is a super smart tool for us that can help us to do things faster, better in a way we never thought possible. Okay, so that's how we can define AI in simple terms. So there are key components as well. So if we talk about the components of AI that help us to make this a smart tool, those are algorithms, data that we inject, then the computing power that it uses to perform the task, and some sensor based on that it detects the feelings and other aspects. So if we talk about what exactly the AI algorithm is, these are like recipes that tells the AI how to learn and solve the problem. So this learn and solve the problem. It will be done through algorithm. If we talk about data, it's kind of a fuel for the system that powers AI. If we talk about computing power, that is needful, or we can say need for powerful systems to process all the data that we inject and run these algorithms which we measure. And sensors are like eyes and ears of any AI tool that helps to understand the world around it. So these are the four key components we are having. If we want to keep these all things together, then data is collected, then algorithm process the data, and the AI makes the decision. So how it works? First, the data will be collected. On based on this data, algorithm process this data. Okay, then the based on this AI system take the decision. So this is how we can define all together what exactly the AI. So these are the four key components of AI that makes the AI system, and this is how we can put it all together. So where we can use it in real time, right? So we can use it for face recognition, we can use it for self-driving cars, we can use it for chatbots like ChatGPT, and we can also use it for voice assistant. So there are many ways through which we can use these AI systems is. So and these are the things which we can summarize AI in very simple way. Now let's understand the key technologies behind the AI system. So when we talk about the key technologies behind the AI system, there are three things comes into picture. First is machine learning, deep learning, and the natural language processing. And how these all are related. If we talk about the AI is a broad field. Okay, so this is how AI is, and machine learning is the subset of this. And when we are talking about DL, that is the subset of ML, but indirectly these all are related to AI, where AI is the broader picture, or we can say broad area in this latest technology. Now let's understand what exactly the machine learning is. Okay, so the machine learning uh, is a subfield of AI that focus on algorithms. So it focus on algorithms that learn from data without being programmed. So we don't program anything this like this way you need to learn, but it use algorithm to learn from the data. So what is the purpose of this machine learning? The purpose of this machine learning to automate tasks that are traditionally done by human being and improve over the time whenever you get more data. So right now when we made any model in AI, first we provide some data through which it learns, but after that once model is trained and published, then it will generate more data and learn from that. If we inject more data, it will learn from that. That's how the AI tools work. If we talk about the real-time use cases, it can be used for fraud detection, spam filtering, image recognition, and speech recognition. This is the use cases we can say for machine learning. So let me mention here. It can be used for fraud detection, spam filtering, image recognition, and speech recognition. So these are the primary use cases of machine learning. Now we will talk about the deep learning. So what exactly the deep learning is? Deep learning is a subfield of machine learning that I mentioned that uses artificial neural networks. Okay. What it uses? Artificial. Sorry, this pen is not working well today. So, neural network. Why it uses artificial neural network? To learn from data. So what is the primary purpose of using deep learning? So deep learning actually allows machines to learn from complex and unstructured data such as images, text, and audio. So the thing is, it can learn from complex data and also learn from complex patterns, which can use images, text, and audios. These are kind of data it can use to learn from it. Now I would like to erase little bit from here so I can define this natural language processing. But before diving into that one, let's understand the use cases. We can use deep learning for image captioning. We can use it for machine translation, chatbots, medical diagnosis, self-driving car. We can use it because it's a subfield of this one. But to learn from data, we can use deep learning. To build a model, we can use machine language process. what exactly the natural language processing do. So NLP is a subfield of AI that deals with the interaction between computers and human languages. You know, computer language is different, human language is different, but NLP help us to interact between both. The purpose of NLP to enable computers to understand human language and generate response that human can understand. So that's why NLP is very important to interact between computers and human. It can use for but it can behave as a virtual assistant. You know, VA. Right now, many websites using it to assist their customers. It can be used for text summarization. It can be used to sentiment analysis. You know, right now, most of the website using AI tools to get the feedbacks, and based on that feedback, that can understand that it is useful, positive feedback they are getting or negative feedback they are. Nowadays, nobody is reading those feedbacks. It is put it into a system that uses AI to understand how the customer is behaving about the sites and all. It can also help to build a system that can answer any customer query. So it can be used for question answer system, and it can be used for machine translation, which can translate one language to another language. So this is very powerful tool in terms of AI. Right now, most of the use cases what we are seeing in the real world based on NLP. They are using NLP for that one. Wherever there is any interaction through the language, if we talk about deep learning, it is used for data analysis or mostly used in data science field where we need to understand complex pattern, complex data to predict future growth. And AI and machine learning is to build the model based on data which we inject. So, in short, ML is a broader field that encompasses deep learning and NLP. And deep learning provides powerful algorithms that can be used in NLP tasks, and NLP focuses on understanding and manipulating human languages, which can be achieved using both machine learning and deep learning techniques. So, this is how we can define artificial intelligence in very short and technical. I hope you find this video helpful to understand AI. If you are looking for more such content, then don't forget to click on like button, share with your friends, and subscribe this channel for more learning resources. Till then, keep learning, keep signing. Hello friends, welcome you all in T3P. Today on day 23, we are going to talk about serverless computing. So first we will talk about what exactly the serverless computing is, then we will move to the key characteristics of serverless computing, and then we will go through the benefits of serverless computing. After that, we will go through the key components which is working in serverless computing and helping us to implement this service. After that, we will talk about how does serverless computing work. After that, we will go through some use cases like where we can use in real time this serverless computing, as it's a new technology and it's still evolving. So where actually it can be used. Next, we will talk about is serverless computing right for us or not. So these all things we will cover in this video. So let's start without wasting time. So first we will understand what is serverless computing. So serverless computing, just understand this word serverless. It doesn't mean that you don't require any server to run your application or services. It means that you no need to manage or operate or monitor, or not even you need to pay for the servers when you are running the application. Then how it is possible? So in terms of cloud computing, serverless computing is a cloud computing execution model. So it's a execution model, okay, where the cloud provider manages all the servers and infrastructure which is required to run a code that is related to your application or the services. So they will manage anything. Who will manage here? Cloud service provider will manage everything related to servers and infrastructure. You just need to worry about how to write the code, how it will work. So you know only need to write the code and deploy it to the cloud provider, and they will handle everything. So this is how we can define cloud computing. Now let's talk about the key characteristics of serverless computing. So it's as you no need to manage or procure any server, you just need to configure. So here it will provide fast deployment. Okay, then we are having one more thing, that is you must be worried that we are not managing the server. Then who will take care of the scaling when we need it? So cloud service provider will manage anything, everything related to automated scaling. And key characteristic of why we should use it, because it will help us to reduce cost for our organization. So we just need to pay for the resources it uses. So it's a huge cost saving. When our code is not running, we are not using the server, we no need to pay anything for the code which we will run. And that will help us to increase agility. So faster deployments and upgrade without worrying about any infrastructure. So it help us to change anything if it is needed. Okay, so we no need to worry about anything in this case, like downtime and all, when we need to update in our traditional environment, right? Similarly, it will provide high availability as we are using the cloud platforms infrastructure, and that is already providing redundancy, so it's a highly available. So cloud provider will ensure that our infrastructure where our code is running always up and running and provide redundancy. Now let's talk about the benefits of cloud computing. So first benefit we already mentioned, that is it will reduce the cost, right? And it provide agility, scalability. So we just need to focus on development. So here we just need to focus on development part. No need to worry about maintenance. And then it simplifies the operation. So as we are not provisioning or configuring any servers, or we are not maintaining the servers, so operations is very easy when we are using serverless computing. So this is how we can define serverless computing in easy way. Now we will talk about key components of serverless computing. So if we talk about key component, there are three major key components. First component is FAAS, that is function as a service. Next is BAAS, that is backend as a service. Another is API gateway. So these are the three key components of serverless computing. When we talk about function as a service, it actually allow you to build and deploy code as functions without managing servers. For example, we are having in different cloud provider. If we talk about AWS, we are having Lambda function, if you have heard it. If we talk about Google Cloud, then we are having Google Cloud function. In short, we can say GC function. If you are using Azure, then we are having Azure function. These are the name of the services in different cloud providers. Similarly, for OCI, we are having Oracle function. So these are the functions available and behaves as a function as a service in serverless computing. When we are talking about the backend as a service, it provides ready-made backend services like database, storage, and authentication, whichever we needed for our function to perform effectively. So we are having services called AWS Amplify, Google Cloud Firebase, or Azure App Services. So there are different services available as a backend services to run your serverless function or computing perfectly. Now let's talk about the API gateway. This is the third and major component that manages the API calls to your serverless function. So what it do? It manages API calls. So these are the three core components of serverless computing. Now we will understand how actually serverless computing works. So in this case, what will happen? Our developer will develop the code. So your code will be uploaded to the cloud provider's platform in the form of function. So here we are having different function services from different cloud providers. So here we will upload our code. Then these function will be triggered by any event. So first is it will be uploaded to the cloud service provider. Then this function will be triggered by any event. What are these events are? These can be anything like HTTP request whenever you click on a web URL which is mentioned, or if there is any DB change there, or if you scheduled any event. These are the few examples where we can trigger this function. It's all depend on our configuration, how we want to trigger or execute that particular function. So when this event occurs, the cloud provider automatically provision resources to execute your code. So once your code is executed, the resources are released. So once our function is completed, the server which is provided by cloud service provider automatically released from the resources pool. So this is how serverless computing works. Now we will talk about where we can use this serverless function. Okay, so first use cases we can use it in microservices. We will learn these microservices in coming lectures. So it will help serverless computing helps in building and scaling individual services independently. So how microservices helps us? It helps us to build and scale individual services independently. Next, we can use serverless functions for web applications. So backend for mobile and web applications. So we can use serverless function. We can also use for any event-driven application because here the function will be triggered if any events are occurs. We can also use this serverless computing for IoT application like Alexa we are having. We can what is IoT application that connects and process data from IoT devices, and right now Alexa is the perfect example of IoT devices. Next, it can be used for batch jobs. So these are the few real-time use cases where we can use serverless computing. Now we need to understand, is the serverless computing right for us or not? So the thing is, if you need a fast, scalable or cost-effective way to develop and deploy any application, serverless computing can be a good option for you. So however, we need to consider that there are some limitation as well for serverless computing, like vendor lock-in and debugging is always a challenges, right? Because it's not continuously running, so we can't debug very efficiently when we are using serverless computing. Also, there are few points we need to keep in mind, that serverless computing is still a relatively new technology and it's constantly evolving. So there are many updates can come. So you need to be updated for this technology. And many cloud providers offer serverless services with different features and pricing models. So first, choosing any cloud provider, we need to explore features and also their cost structure. So we can identify which cloud provider is suitable as per our requirement. So it's important to careful evaluate your needs before choosing any serverless provider. So this is what we have covered in serverless computing, where we have covered everything like what is serverless computing, characteristic, benefits, key components, and how it works, what are the use cases, and if it is good for you or not. So now it's up to you. You can explore more and mention in the comment section how you find this video. Till then, keep learning, keep signing, and keep transforming. Hello, friends. Welcome you all in T3P. Today, on day 24, we are going to talk about DevOps phases and related tools. What we are going to cover in this video, in short, let me tell you all important phases which belongs to DevOps lifecycle. We will talk about each phases. Then we will talk about the most popular tool in that particular phase, what exactly that particular phase or this particular tool will do and how it will help us. Then we will go through when to use this particular tool, and in the end we will wind up this particular phase with the real time use cases where we can use this particular tool in our real world. So what are these phases are, you can see these are the phases. First we will go through these all. Okay, after that we will go through one by one these all. So there are these 12 phases we can say, or we are going to talk about 12 tools those are very important tools in terms of DevOps. So in it will cover everything what you can see over the screen. So without wasting time, let's get started. So the first phase we are going to talk about version control. So what exactly the version control is and what is the most popular tool in this particular phase. So the most popular tool in version control, that is Git. As you know, it's a distributed version control system which is designed for speed and efficiency. So when we can use this particular tool, we can use this tool for managing source code, collaboration, and version tracking. So these are the main purpose of using this tool. So if we talk about in real world, we can use developers can use this tool to commit their code changes to a local repository, and with this tool, changes are pushed to a remote repository like GitHub or GitLab. So team member can collaborate on branches, review changes, and merge them back into the main code base. And whatever changes is happening, so version history is tracked, which allow for easy rollback or if any comparison is needed. So if we talk about at high level, it's a distributed version control system. Okay, so for managing source code, collab, and version tracking. So this is the main purpose of this tool. Next tool we are having continuous integration one. The best tool for this one is Jenkins. So what this particular tool is, it's an open source automation server for building, testing, and deploying code. So what exactly it is? It's an open source automation server that help us for build, test, and deploy. If we talk about when we can use this tool, like it is mentioned, we can use this tool to automate builds, continuous integration, and deployment. If we talk about in real world how it is used, so developer posts code changes to a remote repository, like we mentioned in the version control system. Then Jenkins automatically triggers a build process, including compiling, running unit test, and packaging the application. So if in test is passed, the application is automatically deployed to a staging environment. This continuous feedback loop helps identify and fix bugs early at the early stage itself. So how it happens? Once this developer push the code changes to a remote repository, then this Jenkins can automatically triggers a build process. What is this build process? It's include compile, test, and packaging of it's a packaging of the application. So this is the build process. So it automatically triggered by Jenkins. If the test is passed, the application is automatically deployed to the next phase, that is our staging environment. Now we are going to talk about third phase, that is continuous delivery. So if we talk about the most popular tool in this phase, that is Travis CI. What it do? It's a CI CD service that automates the building and testing of code which is hosted on GitHub. So we can use this particular tool for continuous integration, automated testing, and deployment. Similar to Jenkins, code changes trigger to a build and testing process. Then Travis CI integrates seamlessly with GitHub, which allow us for automatic deployments from the passing builds. This enables faster and more reliable delivery of a new feature of or fix the bugs which is available. So this is how we can use this particular phase, and this Travis CI help us to integrate seamlessly with GitHub, which allow automated deployment from passing build. Next phase is containerization. What exactly the containerization? Uh, the first we will talk about the popular tool, as you already know, Docker for this one. which is a platform for developing, shipping, and running application in container. So to create reproducible environment, isolated application, and improve portability, we can use this Docker tool. Okay, so developer package their application and its dependency in a Docker image. Docker image can easily be shared and deployed on any machine with Docker installed. This allow for consistent application behavior across different environment. As you know, containers are portable and isolated from the environment, and it can run on any platform, so it's not platform dependent and provide consistent application behavior all the platform wherever we are running these containers. So this is the fourth phase. Next phase is orchestration. Most popular tool in this phase is Kubernetes, that is also known as KAS, which is an open source container orchestration platform for managing containerized application. Whatever application is built through Docker, those will be managed through Kubernetes. We can manage through it. Kubernetes, it manages full life cycle of a container from creation to deletion. So when we can use it for container orchestration, scaling, and managing microservices, we can use Kubernetes for scaling, container orchestration, and managing microservices. If we talk about in real-time scenarios, Kubernetes run on a cluster of machines and automates the deployment, scaling, and networking of containerized application that can automatically scale application up and down based on demand. Also, we can define the replicas in this Kubernetes environment. So Kubernetes is ideal for managing complex microservices architecture. If we talk about right now Netflix and other microservices application, they are using microservices application. Those are using Kubernetes to manage their containers. Now we will talk about the sixth phase, that is configuration management. And the best tool in this phase is Ansible. Ansible actually an open source automation tool for configuration management, application deployment, and task automation. So what are the three things it do? Automate configuration management, app deployment, and task automation. These are the primary tasks of this tool, that is Ansible, which is a part of configuration management. When we can use it, whenever we want to automate configuration management, application deployment, or task automation, we can use this particular tool. And in real world, Ansible defines the desired state of any infrastructure and application using playbooks. So what exactly these playbooks are? Playbooks are run on target machine to ensure consistency and automate repetitive tasks. So this can include provisioning of servers, installing any application or the software, configuring any application, and deploying dash to that for that particular application. So these are the tasks can be done through Ansible. So in short, Git is a version control system tool. Jenkins is a continuous integration tool. For continuous delivery, we have Travis CI. For containerization, we have Docker. For orchestration, we are having Kubernetes, that is for container orchestration tool. And for configuration management, we have a popular tool for Ansible. Now let's talk about next phases. On number 7, we are having infrastructure as a code. The most popular tool if we talk about here, that is Terraform. Okay, so what exactly this tool is? It's an infrastructure provisioning tool that allow us to define and provision infrastructure using a declarative configuration language. So what will happen? We can use some particular template. We create the infrastructure based on that template. Okay. And the best part is whenever we need to provision again, we can use the same template and our infrastructure is ready quickly. The best part is there is no human error chances. because we are using the same template. So our infrastructure is consistent in this case. So there is less human error chances, we can say. So when we can use for managing and provisioning infrastructure, version control, infrastructure code. In real time, we can provision any resources in any cloud platform or through this particular tool. So Terraform defines infrastructure resources like we can create servers, we can create networks, we can create databases. These are the examples which we need to mention in a configuration file. These files are known as a templates. So here we need to define these all. These files are version controlled and which allow for easy collaboration and rollback. If we need any rollback, we can perform that one as well. So Terraform can be used to provision the infrastructure based on desired configuration. Whatever configuration we need, we just need to mention in here. Now we talk about monitoring. So the best tool for, or we can say popular tool, we are having Prometheus. So it's an open source tool which is actually a monitoring and alerting toolkit which is designed for reliability and scalability. When we can use it for monitoring systems and applications based on metrics and alert accordingly. So in real world, how it works? Prometheus collects metrics from applications, okay, and infrastructure, and then so how it works? It Prometheus collects metrics from application and infrastructure through exporters and scrapping. So Prometheus can also trigger alerts based on predefined threshold or anomaly if it detects any. So based on threshold, it can alert us if there is something wrong is there. Now let's clean. Now it's time to talk about next phase, that is logging. If we talk about logging, the popular tool here is ELK stack, where E stands for Elasticsearch, L stands for Logstash, K stands for Kibana. So this is also an open source tool, or we can say these are the open source tools for searching, analyzing, and visualizing log data in real time. So what it do? It search, analyze, and visualize. So this tool particularly functions three tasks. So we can use it for log aggregation, analysis, and visualization purpose. So application and systems generate logs entries containing information about their activity. So here the component called logstash that actually collects these entries from various sources. Okay, these sources can be anything like files or APIs and pass this information into a structured format. Next component, Elasticsearch, what exactly it do? Whatever information it is collected by Logstash, it indexes and store the process data which allow for efficient searching and analysis purpose. Now we have the third component, that is Kibana. What exactly it do? It's provide a user interface for visualization. So how it will visualize? We can use it dashboard feature. We can use charts. Also, we can use graphs. These are the function of all three component here. that enables developers and operations team to troubleshoot issues, track application performance, and detect security threats here. Now we have the next phase, that is collaboration. As you know, in DevOps, collaboration is very important between different teams like developers and operations. So we have a tool called Slack. So it's a messaging platform that used by teams for communication and collaboration purpose. So as you know, it's a collaboration tool, so team can use it for real-time collaboration, integration, and with other tools as well. So if we talk about in real world, team members can create channels for specific projects or topics. Then in real-time messaging allow for quick communication and information sharing between different teams. For sharing and integration with other tools like GitHub and Google Drive, which enables collaboration. Next thing, Slack also offers tools for project management, polls, video conferencing. So it's overall best collaboration tool which we are having at DevOps. Next page we are having cloud platform. What exactly it is? As you all are aware, we are having different cloud platform like AWS, Azure, GCP, Oracle Cloud, IBM Cloud. There are many clouds available in the market. So it's a cloud computing platform which offers variety of services. What are these services are? These services are for computing, storage, and networking, which are related to our application. Either you need to host your application, you can use this cloud platform. If you need to host your data, we can use the storage services of this cloud platform. If you want to communicate different component of your application, you can use networking of this cloud platform. So this is a application hosting platform which is very very important because we need to host our application somewhere. So cloud platform plays an important role. Now we are having the last phase, that is source code management, and the important tool we are having Bitbucket here. What exactly this tool is? It's a Git repository management solution that provides SCM for teams. So when hosting Git repository, code collaboration, branching strategy, we can use Bitbucket for that one. So if we talk about in real-time use cases, whenever developer create and manage Git repository on Bitbucket, team can collaborate on code through pull request and merge branching. So Bitbucket offers features like code review. If we talk about the features of Bitbucket, we are having code review, issue tracking, and access control. So these are the 12 phases we have covered in this video, and I have prepared the cheat sheet for these all phases, all tools, what it do, where we can use it in real time. I have prepared a cheat sheet. I am going to share that link in the description box. Just go through that one. That is available on my Telegram channel, so it's available for free. You can use it. You can connect with me there, where I can share my updated content there, what I create. So guys, I hope you find this video helpful and informative. If you find this video helpful, then don't forget to click on like button, subscribe for more content. Till then, keep learning, keep signing, and keep transforming. See you in the next video. Hello friends, welcome you all in T3P. Today on day 25, we are going to talk about security in the cloud. So as you know, right now, every organization are moving to the cloud. So cloud security is essential for protecting your business data or your application. So whatever you are running in the cloud, you need to make sure it's protected and secured from the attackers. So the thing is, what the problem here is there are many different services available, and it's really tough to understand which service we need to choose and from where we need to start. So in this video, I am going to simplify everything. We are going to talk about every vertical related to the securities which is available in the cloud. So in this video, we are going to cover these all seven verticals. Either it is identity access management. This is related to the end user. Then we will talk about the network security related. Then we will talk about data encryption. Then we will talk about threat detection and monitoring. Then we will go through the DDoS protection, what exactly it is, and then we will move to compliance management, and we will wind up this session with the incident response services. So what we are going to cover in this video, let me tell you. First we will understand what exactly these verticals are. Then we will understand where we can use or where we need to use this particular service. Okay, either it is this one or this one, whatever, we will go through one by one, and in the end we will go through how to use these services. And then the important part, after completion of understanding what exactly it is, when we need to use it, where to use it, how to use it, we need to understand what are the cloud services available respective to each vertical. So in this video, I am going to share the services name that can help you for that particular vertical. Either it is IAM, network security, data encryption, or incident response. So we will talk about services which is available in AWS cloud, GCP cloud, Azure cloud, and Oracle Cloud. So we are going to cover all the services related to these verticals from different cloud providers. In the end, I am going to share cheat sheet with you that you can use it for your easy reference whenever you need it. So this video gonna be very helpful. I know that anyhow you are going to use cloud, and you need to understand where which service can be used for which security scenarios. So without wasting time, let's get started. So the first, let's talk about identity and access management. So what exactly it is, just to understand quickly, it manages user identity and their access permissions to the cloud resources. So what it do, for example, user accounts we are having, and it manages user accounts in terms of IAM, identity and access management. These user accounts are known as identities, and their permissions, what permissions these users are having on the cloud service resources. These resources are your virtual machines, network, or databases, storage, whatever resources you are using, which user have what permission, it manages through the IAM management. So it's a centralized control over who can access what, how they can access it, and what they can do. Now the thing is where to use this particular service. So we can use this service to control access to all cloud resources, which includes compute, storage, network, and applications. So we can also use role-based access control for granular granular permissions. That means we can give permission whatever access is required to the end user. That also we can enforce multi-factor authentication. So that will be additional layer of security. So by using this, you can enhance your security for your cloud services or the application you are using. So how we can use it? We can create and manage user accounts. We can create groups. We can create roles in this case. So to use it, we can create user accounts. We can also create groups. So we can directly give permission to this group, or we can create roles as well. So that will help you for which role, which resources need to be given access. So this is how we can use it. Also, we can integrate with existing identity providers like Active Directory for single sign-on. So it's this service in the cloud very much helpful, and it's one of core services from all cloud providers. Now at the time, we need to understand what are the services available for different cloud provider. If we talk about Azure, we are having Azure AD. Why I am giving this information? Because it's helpful whenever you will come across that cloud provider. If we are talking about AWS, we are having with the name AWS IAM service. If we talk about GCP, then we are having Google Cloud, IAM, and for OCI, we are having Oracle Cloud, IAM. So these are the services from different cloud provider for identity and access management. Now we will talk about Now we will talk about network security. So what exactly this service is? It controls and filters traffic flow within and between virtual networks. So what it do? What controls and filters traffic between VPNs, or we can say virtual network. So if we talk about in terms of AWS, these virtual network are VPC. In Azure, it's a VNet. So there are different name for virtual network. You just need to understand those. So it protect resources from unauthorized access and malware. So where we can use this service, we can define security parameters around cloud resources. So we can isolate sensitive application and workflow separately based on network. Okay. So if you are having two different network, you can use one for sensitive, one for common. So this is how we can apply network security. We can also block unwanted traffic and malicious attack with the help of IP and the network subnet we are having. How to use this one? We can create security group with rules which specify which traffic need to be allowed, which traffic need to be denied. So we can configure rule based on IP address, ports or protocol. So we can use IP, ports or protocols. We can configure rules based on these parameters. We can also implement whitelisting and blacklisting for specific source and destination. If you are aware about, we can configure that as well. And also, we can monitor network activity and investigate if there is any suspicious traffic. Now, the time to go through the services which is available for network security. So, if we talk about Azure, we are having Azure NSG, Azure Network Security Group. For AWS, we are having AWS SG, that is AWS Security Group. In Google Cloud, we are having Google Cloud VPC Service Controls. Google Cloud VPC Service Controls. In Oracle Cloud, we are having Oracle Cloud NSG. So these are the services related to network security from different cloud providers. Now it's time to talk about third vertical, that is data encryption. So what exactly it is? It protects data at rest by encryption. It uses encryption. What exactly it is? It will convert your normal text into unreadable format. That text is also known as cipher text. Okay. So that prevents unauthorized access to sensitive information, even it is compromised. Even this text is reach to the hacker, he is not able to decrypt it until and unless that person is having required keys to decrypt this data. So where we can use it? We can use it to encrypt cloud storage volumes, databases, and application data. So where we can use it? We can use it for storage volumes. We can use it for databases. Also, we can use it for application data. So we can encrypt this data so we can feel secure and it will protect from the hackers or unauthorized person who can access this data. If even after encryption, somebody got the access to it, he will not able to read what is written there. So it will help us to comply with data privacy regulation as well as per industry standard. How to use this one? We can enable encryption for storage services and databases, and we can manage and rotate these encryption keys what we are using for encrypting this particular data time to time. So that will help us to implement secure key management practices as well. Now it's time to talk about the services which is available in different cloud provider. So if we talk about Azure, we are having Azure disk encryption. In AWS, we are having AWS KMS, key management service. Similarly, for Google Cloud, we are having Google KMS. For Oracle, we are having Oracle Cloud Key Management. So these are the services from different cloud providers. Now it's time to talk about next vertical. Let's talk about threat detection and monitoring vertical. So what exactly it is? It's a continuous monitors cloud resources. If we will not continuously monitor these cloud resources, we will not able to detect the threats for any suspicious activity and security threat. So it provides real-time alerts and insights for proactive incident response. So where we can use it? We can use it for detecting unauthorized access, malware functions, malware infections, also for potential attacks. So we can use this service to detect unauthorized access, malware infections, and potential attack. We can also use it for monitoring compliance and security policies and regulations. So it can help us for investigating security incident and identifying the root causes. So this service is very much important. How we can use it? We can configure security policies and monitoring rules. We can also use it through analyzing security logs and events for if there is any anomalies is detected. So we can respond to the alerts and investigate potential threats, which help us to automate incident response procedure. So this is how we can use it, this service. And what are the services available from cloud provider point of view? We are having Azure Security Center. We are having AWS Cloud Trail. We are having Google Cloud Security Command Center. In the last for Oracle Cloud, we are having OCI logging. So these are the services which help us for threat detecting and monitoring. So we need to continuously monitor our cloud resources. We can use this service to detect unauthorized access, malware infections, or potential attack. And we how we can use it? We can use it through configuring security policies and monitoring rules. So what are the services help us for this one? We are having these services that help us to perform these all things in terms of security in the cloud resources. Now we will talk about next vertical. Now let's talk about DDoS protection. What exactly the DDoS? That is distributed denial of service. First, let's understand what attack it is. So what happens if you know any particular website, you want to hang that particular website that it will not respond, what you will do, you will send traffic from hundreds of thousands of machines to the same URL. So what will happen, that website will give response to each one, right? So what happens in this case, unauthorized person will try to access the same website from different sources. So your server is busy to respond that particular unauthorized person. So and your actual customer is not able to access that your website. So this is what distributed denial of service is. Okay. So this service help us to protect from this DDoS attack. So we can mitigate DDoS attack that overbound cloud resources with traffic. So it protects your application and infrastructure from service disruption. Where we can use it, as I mentioned, we can use it to protect critical application and services from DDoS attack, and also it helps us to prevent downtime and ensure business continuity. You can understand, if your server is busy, your customer is not able to access, then definitely there will be a downtime and it will not provide business continuity. So this service is very much helpful to provide business continuity. How we can use it? We just need to enable DDoS protection service, where we need to define some specific rules and threshold, and we can use it to monitor traffic patterns and identify potential DDoS attack. So it will help us to automate mitigation strategies to divert or block any attack traffic. Whenever we got to know there is a block attack to our website, we can block that one. Now let's time to talk about the services from different cloud providers. So in Azure, we are having called Azure DDoS protection with the same name. In AWS, we are having different name like AWS Shield Service. For Google Cloud, we are having Google Cloud Armor Service, ARMOR here. If we talk about Oracle Cloud, we are having OCI Web Application Firewall Service. Sorry. So these are the services from different cloud providers which provide this DDoS protection for our critical applications and services. Now let's talk about next vertical, that is compliance management. So what it is, it enforce organization security. Once we enforce organization security, that will help us to be compliant. So it enforce organization security policies and compliance standard within the cloud environment. So whatever your organization is following in terms of security, compliance, and standards, you can implement those on the cloud resources or cloud environment. It helps us to ensure that whatever resources or cloud we are using, it ensure that is compliance with industry regulation and data privacy law. So where we can use it? We can use it for automating compliance checks and assessment. We can use it for identifying and remediating compliance violation. We can also use it for maintaining an audit ready cloud environment. Now it's time to talk about how to use this service. So in this case, what we need to do? First, we need to define compliance policies and map them to the cloud resources. This is how we can use it. Then we can configure continuous monitoring and reporting that will help us to provide compliance status. That will help us to automate remediation actions for non-compliance issue. If we detect anything, then we can take action on that one to make our application or environment compliant in terms of industry standard. Now it's time to talk about the services. So in Azure, we are having service called Azure Policy. In AWS, we are having AWS Config Service. In Google Cloud, we are having Google Cloud Resource Manager Service. In OCI, we are having Oracle Cloud Infrastructure Resource Management Service. So these are the services from different cloud provider which help us to enforce organization security policy to the cloud environment. How we can use it? We can define compliance policy, map it to the cloud resources, and we can configure compliance monitoring and reporting to check compliance status. So these are the services which can help us for compliance management for our cloud environment. Now it's time to talk about incident response. So whenever we talk about incident response, it's like provide a framework for detecting, investing, and responding to the security incident. So what it do? It detect, it investigate, and it respond. This is how this incident response service works in cloud environment. It helps us to minimize damage and restore normal operations quickly. So where we can use it? We can use it to respond to security breaches, malware infections, or any data leaks we can got to know. We can also conduct incident investigation and identifying root causes. So these services can help us in that way. We can also use this service to implement recovery plan and restoring affected system. So this is how we can use this service. If we talk about services which is available in the cloud, so the thing is, first before going through the services, first let's understand how to use this service. Okay, so we can set up connectors, we can also create workbooks, and we can also automate response whenever there is any incident is there, what action need to be taken, that we can configure automatically. So now it's time to talk about the services from different cloud providers. So in Azure, we are having Azure Sentinel service. In AWS, we are having AWS Security Hub service. In Google Cloud, we are having Google Cloud Security Command Center service. That we have, this service is also known as for threat detection and monitoring service. So for both purpose, we can use this Google Cloud Security Command Center service. For Oracle, we are having OCI Security Advisor service. So these are the services which can help us to detect, investigate, and response. We can use it to set up connectors, create workbooks, and we can configure automated response. So this is how these services help us to make our cloud environment secure. And nowadays, cloud security is very much essential for all our organizations, even for you as well. So we have covered identity and access management in this video. We have covered network security, data encryption, threat detecting, and monitoring. We have also discussed about DDoS protection, what exactly it is, how we can protect it, what services we can use. We have also discussed compliance management. Now it's time to talk about cheat sheet, how we can remember these all things in a single picture. So you can see this particular page where I have defined everything in simple way. In this particular cheat sheet, you can see all the 7 verticals. What we discussed in this video is covered. We have also covered whatever services we needed. We have covered what exactly these particular vertical or services do and what exactly it is, where to use this service and how to use this services. So whatever we have discussed in this video, I have defined everything in a single picture. So you can take a screenshot or you can check the description where I have mentioned a link where from where you can get this particular feature. So I hope you find this video helpful. I have shared the link of my Twitter account and Telegram channel where I am sharing quick content every day so you can learn every day and skill yourself. If you find this video helpful, don't forget to click on like button, share with your friends and keep learning, keep transforming and keep signing. See you in next video.